I just got back from CES in Las Vegas like 6 days ago. Already seems like it was months ago in terms of time, but in terms of excitement over the TVs that were announced and in some cases actually shown at CES, well, it's like I never left. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Caleb Dennison, and while this year's CES was certainly an odd one, some booths were empty while others were jammed full of tech, the occasion did not disappoint in terms of announcements around the new TVs that'll be coming in 2022. I kid you not, I am more excited for TV reviews this year than I have been in many years past. We're going to be seeing improvements to QLED TVs and conventional OLED TVs, more mini LED models, and of course, there's the whole QD-OLED or QD display factor this year as well. So, while we wait for the TVs to start trickling out at the end of February and beginning of March, I figured I'd run down my list of the TVs I'm most excited to review this year and why. Before I jump into it, quick question. Which TV do you want to see me review more than any other, and why that particular model? Let me know down in the comments, and while you're down there, might I urge you to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell if you haven't already so that YouTube can serve you up my unboxing and review videos the second they come out. You are going to want to be part of the conversation this year. Trust me. Welcome to the family. All right, let's do this. So let's start with LCD-based TVs and then make our way into OLED-based displays. And I want to start out with TCL's OD0 TV. Now, part of the reason I want to review this TV so much is just like the spectacle of the thing. I'm super curious what kind of box it comes in, what it's going to be like to set it up, and I'm really interested to see what the sound system on this thing is like. I mean, it's got that big subwoofer on the back, so I'm interested to see if this TV busts out the bass, but it also pairs speakers on the sides of the screen with an array of drivers that are way down at the bottom on the stand. So I'm interested to see how well dialogue and sound effects match up with the screen location. Then, of course, there's the picture quality aspect. This is TCL's third go at mini LED backlighting. It's got maximum mini LEDs going and lots of dimming zones. This is TCL's flagship TV, and it's priced like a flagship TV from more historically expensive brands like Samsung and LG. Will it hold up in the picture quality department, or is a big chunk of the cost sunk into that super thin profile and that rather elaborate soundbar stand? I feel like this is going to be the TV that's going to show us exactly what TCL can do, price no object. And that's going to tell us a lot. And as long as we're talking TCL, I am also super curious to get my eyes on the new 8 series TV, which is, interestingly enough, a 4K model. But it has maxed out mini LED backlighting technology, and I want to see just how good that set can look, and also what it's going to be priced at. And of course, I'm excited to check out the 98-inch XL Collection TV as well. Mostly because it is just massive and I love a good challenge. Can we even get that thing in here? Where are we gonna put it? How's the picture quality? I mean, it's 98 inches for under $8,000, but how does it look for that money? Also, will TCL ship it to me, or is it just too big? I kind of wonder that about the OD0 too. Is that too expensive to ship out? In the past, that's meant I had to travel to the TV to review it. So I might be making a flight to Los Angeles for a couple of those reviews, but you can bet I will be reviewing all 3 of those TCL TVs this year. Now let's talk about Samsung. The 2 TVs I'm looking forward to here are 2 neo-qled TVs. The top of the line 4K model and the top of the line 8K model. I'm presuming that would be the Q90B and the Q900B respectively, but you know, Samsung could switch up its naming convention. Anyway, the exciting thing coming from Samsung in 2022 is 14-bit brightness processing. In a nutshell, this tech should give us more detail in bright areas for a better HDR experience. And I want to see how well that works, especially compared to Samsung's competition. Samsung didn't talk a lot about mini LED count or zones, but instead focused a lot on all the different user features its TVs would enable, not the least of which was NFT browsing and buying. Take that for what you will. So I'm really interested to see how these TVs hit this year. Also, could this be the first year that Samsung ships me a micro LED TV? There is an 89-inch model. That's in the realm of possibility, but this is the kind of TV that is so expensive, I don't know if they'll ship it to me, or maybe we'll have to ship me to the TV. We'll have to see, but if I could get a solid 2 or 3 hours with a micro LED TV, I think I could really learn some stuff. Now, you notice I haven't mentioned anything about a QD-OLED or QD display from Samsung here, and there's a reason for that, but I'm gonna get to that in just a minute. Next up is Hisense. I'm interested in both the new U9 and U8 because they both offer mini LED backlights. That's a first for Hisense. But I really want to hone in on that U9 because it's Hisense's flagship model. So I expect it will be the best performing TV we get from the company this year, and probably the best performing TV Hisense has ever made for the US market. Now, those of you who follow TV tech closely may have noticed that there was no dual cell TV talked about at CES. I actually asked Hisense about that, and I don't think the company is just giving up on dual cell. There's certainly no official word on that, but I did confirm that dual cell is indeed expensive to make and pretty low in terms of yield. Seems like Hisense wants to lean into providing huge shipments of mini LED TVs like the U9 and the U8, as well as standard high-value LED TVs like the U7. Unless there's a big surprise, I don't think there will be another dual-cell TV to review this year, and honestly, that's fine. I think Hisense dual cell will end up being an interesting bullet point on the TV tech timeline, but a mini LED TV like the U9, that's probably going to be the big value story this year. As promised, it's time to talk OLED TVs. And yes, eventually, we're going to land on the new QD-OLED TVs we can expect to see this year. Oop, did I say TVs plural? I did. Before that, though, let's talk about LG OLED TVs. I actually got to see most of LG's 2022 lineup at its US headquarters in late November 2021. I'm excited to check out the G2 Gallery Series OLED TVs because one, they have a new heatsink technology that is supposed to be a little bit different than what Sony put in the A90J TV last year, and two, this is the big one, 97-inch OLED. I mean, come on. While QD-OLED is in its infancy for the next couple of years, LG's best performing, brightest OLED yet is going to be available in a 97-inch model. Will you get to see it right here in this room where I always review TVs? The answer is yes, there will be a 97-inch monster box arriving. I'm already getting Aflac to cover the back injury I'm definitely gonna get trying to wrangle it up here to the 10th floor of this building. But as soon as I'm allowed to get out of bed, you can bet I'm going to dive deep into that 97-inch OLED TV, and I might just have to live in this room for a while. I mean, it's cool. There's like a shower across the hall, so I promise I'll stay clean. Still, all the excitement doesn't go just to the G2 series and its 97-inch variant. I'm also excited to see the C2 series in all of its sizes, and especially the little 42-inch model. Man, I remember being stoked to get a 36-inch TV, and now I'm acting like 42-inch is all cutesy. It's funny now that 65-inch is the new normal, but that 42-inch model will be fun to test as a gaming monitor as well as a TV. And now that the C2 series has LG's brighter Evo technology, I think the value of LG's most popular OLED TV series, which will probably see even bigger sales figures this year, is something to look forward to. I think there's going to be some interesting comparisons to be made between the C2 series OLEDs and the mini LED sets from Samsung and Sony. Speaking of Sony, this looks like a big year for Sony, and there are more models in Sony's lineup than any other one manufacturer that I'm interested in reviewing. You've got the Z9K, which is an 8K mini LED backlit set, and then you've got the X95K, which is a 4K mini LED backlit set. And I'm super excited to see what Sony, it's not about how many LEDs and zones you have, electronics, does with mini LED backlighting. Specifically, how its much hailed Bravia XR cognitive processor adapts, and it will have to adapt. Sony promises big things, so I want to see it. And you get to see it too, right here, especially the return of Backlight Master Drive, which is a naming convention I feel like Sony brought back just because the Z9D had it and people are still talking about how intense that TV was, because it was. But now it's back for the Z9J, which I think is a foreshadowing of just how bright things are gonna get in here. I know I'm stoked, and my videographer is very much not, because bright TVs are hard to deal with, but you know what? We're gonna make it work. And we're gonna work hard to get close to making these TVs look as good on video as they do in person. There will be other Sony LCD TVs we test, like the A90K will probably come through. But now let's talk about Sony's OLED TV lineup. This might be the year that I don't test an A90K. It's only available in 42 and 48-inch sizes. I mean, I don't know. Should I review one? Leave me a comment down below. I will, of course, however, be reviewing the A80K, which gets the brighter OLED panel with heatsink that the A90J got last year, and is available in all the sizes from Sony. In fact, I'm really excited to pit the Sony A80K against the LG G2 this year. That's gonna be a fun comparison. But the most fun I'll probably have all year will be when the Sony A95K comes through. That, my friends, is going to be a moment. This is where I get to the QD-OLED part. So the A95K is a QD-OLED TV, and if you don't know what I mean by that, here's a video you can check out right now that explains it a bit. Also, sidebar real quick, so all of you know, there are a lot of misconceptions about how QD-OLED works and why it's supposed to be better and how it's supposed to be better. So look forward to a full explainer coming soon where I'm gonna be busting some myths I've seen down in the comments already. Also, it's just really interesting stuff. Anyway, back to the A95K. Having the first QD-OLED TV in here is exciting enough, but seeing what Sony chooses to do with it will also be pretty interesting. And then comparing that TV to all the other high-end flagships, that's gonna be super revealing as well. Man, I am gonna be busy this year, but that's okay because I love this stuff and I know you do too. But that is not the only QD-OLED TV I'll be reviewing this year. I also expect to be reviewing a QD-OLED TV made by Samsung. Yes, it's true, Samsung announced no such TV at CES, but I have very good reason to believe that by early March, maybe mid-March, and earlier would be fine too, we will get official word that Samsung Electronics has a QD-OLED TV, or at least it will use the tech that we're calling QD-OLED. Samsung Display, which is a different company entirely, calls it QD Display right now. The marketing wizards at Samsung Electronics need to figure out what they will call it when it's in their TV, but whatever it's called, it will be the same panel technology that we see in the Sony A95K, and it will be right here. Okay, so I know what I'll be doing for the rest of the year, starting in late February. A lot of exciting TVs to review and compare, and I hope you will be here with me to check them all out. Thanks as always for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to be among the first to see these reviews, and while you're here, here's 2 other videos I think you'll like.